G'day, today we're going to have a look at a daily challenge. It's been a while since I've done one. This one looks pretty fun. So it is double the number of motorways awarded, start with 3 motorways. So I always love just getting absolutely smashed with motorways. So let's see how we go with this one. This has been a while since I've done a dark mode level as well. One thing I find I have still is I do occasionally get feedback on the dark mode level saying people prefer the dark, but it's too hard to see the mouse. But I mean, the mouse is set up to invert, so I mean, you can see when I go over the trees it changes color. I don't know, I guess it does still have like a black outline, so it's slightly smaller maybe? Not sure. I do think that when it goes maybe on some colors, it sort of just blends into sort of its surroundings though, maybe. I mean, this will be an interesting one if we do get just a ton of motorways. I do enjoy seeing what I can get up to motorway-wise. I think 14 or 16 motorways is probably the most I've had on a level. Not that long ago either. I think the Dar es Salaam one I just did a few days ago was pretty heavy. Now this here is definitely should be a group that is set for one of these two, not for both of them divided, and eventually it'll just be a different group. We'll go somewhere else, presumably with a motorway. But we might just give our first motorway off to this guy. I do like the blue motorways as well that we get in night mode. It's been a while since I've seen those. Where are the traffic lights? Be nice to have some roundabouts, I think, in this one too, but we'll see how we go. I definitely will opt to take motorways on every chance I get. I suppose if we did... This guy's going slow enough that it's really only guys operating out of this house for the most part that seem to be working. I guess one extra guy. Get a candidate for a motorway. Not really a good setup. I mean, I could even turn them around to try and get that going. Now that's a sudden jerk in the layout that we need to do here. So there's no way to get that guy off that. So what we could do is flip those two around. Give this guy that way. And then we'll go through to him. Bounce those two guys together to get that in there. And then we'll connect him there. Actually did clean this up a little bit as well. Actually, no, he doesn't even need to tilt down. He can still be like that, and I think that's okay. He's still considered a driveway as opposed to a road. I would like a second red little neighborhood somewhere to shift this guy back that way. Sorry that it sounds like I'm just rapping my fingers on the mic here. That's just the music for this level. That is very off-putting. He's unfortunately on the long side of green there. Not even a fan of that so much, in that I sort of am blocking off green's ability to expand. But let's just push that out one more just in case we get any greenhouses in here, because it would be nice to have maybe 2 more in that section. Alright, so that's the first of, well, not really a matching location that we're getting there. This guy, I mean, I could swing all the way around the outside to get him on this. But we'll just leave it as is for now. Just wait to see what develops. Alright, let's... Is that a weird connection set up there? Alright. Let's break all of that down. Just thinking about the way that guy's connected. Guess that'll do for now. These guys will just flick back the other way, so they're sort of more heading towards their destination. Just not really sure about this layout. I had to get a third guy here. Don't think we need to incorporate him in any way. I suppose there's an alternate option here where I could flip these 2 guys around and have these all sort of like going to a point here where they take the motorway over, so these 2 guys are actually closer. Not having to travel all the way past this. Or alternatively I use... Oh, it actually doesn't have to be alternative, does it? Because I've already used that motorway. Well, these guys are all building into a nice little quaint hub, which I've previously established are a bad setup. But we've also established I don't learn from mistakes. Again there, that's, I think, a bad layout, because this guy's having a... These guys are having to travel beyond him. Well, that's a pretty easy setup at least. Well, we've got one generous one. Send him that way. Even though he's the long journey. 3-4 divide's probably a bit better. Got this guy down here that can go up there, but I don't think we need him at the moment. Okay. So let's put a roundabout here. And we'll get rid of that. Swing him in there, swing him in there, and we'll bring this little lip down there. Let's put a second roundabout in here. Should we get him to connect that way? And that guy in there, and then this guy can sweep around there. We'll get rid of that. Get these guys to sort of head the correct direction. I'll bounce in there. And we'll get this guy to go from there over here. A little bit concerning that in such early days I've already gone through so many motorways. I'm definitely just tempted to rely heavily on them in this one. I don't like that you've attached yourself to my setup there. So we're going to have to rejig this slightly. We've also got to wait for that to now come back to us. Alright, well firstly let's get these guys to go all the way around the top. I'm in there. We've just got to wait for that to go. Put me in a much weirder little position there. Once this starts to get very busy, this could be a poorly designed neighborhood for that to try and get out of. That's a nicely, slightly closer guy there. Get rid of that briefly while we wait for those. Well, we'll let these guys sort of get in there and help out a little bit. So we'll just briefly go flick him in there, because once he's in there, then it won't have any grief about the way he's connecting. Or does that now look really weird, the way it's chosen to go there? Okay, so what will change? We got another motorway. One fun thing about the way that you get to sort of play a level like this where it's just throwing motorways at you is you just get to do some really, I guess, dumb creative. Sort of what I would call it, where you're trying to fix problems by just sort of like going the easiest fix of, alright, well, let's give him a motorway here. Now we didn't, oh no, we've got him connected there, that guy's got heaps there. This is starting to suggest that we might not need these guys all the way over here helping out. Yeah, we can see these guys aren't being used anymore, so we'll get rid of that. And connect him in there. I think he'll be the priority house, as is the closest one. I think white is one of the weirdest setups we've got. Swing them up there. Still on the fence with this guy. I mean, he's got so many of his people are coming from up here. I do need to get this guy connected onto this. It just seems like that's going to slow things down, but we'll see how he goes. Little scattering of little red neighborhoods. But the good news is that because we've got so many motorways, we can set up so that we've got multiple neighborhoods going to the same one destination. So there's an option we can keep. Now this guy here, well, I guess for now we'll just give him these two. It's just purely based on how close they are. Otherwise I would have gone all these guys over here. Now, join him in there. It's got Christmas lights going on down the bottom here. This guy here is probably the longest trip. Someone who's not got a motorway at all. This guy's probably second. This guy here is not doing well. I don't think. A lot not to like about the layout of his neighborhood coming in, and it's clearly operating very inefficiently. It also possibly is just that red suddenly decided that it wants to surge. So, how can we help these guys out to try and make them a little bit more efficient? I suppose what we could do is try and just swing these three guys around the edge. In that way. I don't know why, but that looks like it's more efficient. Okay. But, firstly, let's... swing these guys in to help out over here. And, I mean, there's no point just waiting for anything to get worse. Let's get another one here. These guys swinging up there to help out. And these guys on here are basically where the roadblock is. There's not that many white guys coming in because white's only square in comparison to him. Both overloading as well as being circular. I do certainly cause this problem where I just create like a nice little traffic jam for myself to make things even worse, but at least this guy's clearing up. That guy connected? Yep, good. Now in these layouts, what you kind of want is, you can see that with... Oh, I guess that is a new job for this neighborhood. Yeah, motorways... Okay, so let's pause for a second to make sure that we are looking all good here. So that guy's now gone down. He's stopped complaining, which is great. So we're going to get rid of that. And what we'll do is we will flip these two guys up, make a connection there. Now that guy we can flip down. These three guys we can now give the opposite to. They're now the maybe the back of that one as opposed to those being the back of those ones. Okay. All good. This guy here, he is not happy. Now, I would have thought that you had enough houses coming to you. It must just be the amount of time it's taking for those houses to get there. So, really what we'd want to do, when you've got, if you're setting up multiple highways, which is what we're about to do, you want to put the closer highway closer to the entrance. So for example, we're going to shift that guy there and he'll build straight away because we've got excess of highways. So what this means is that these guys should probably be going more frequently, and then we'll break that, and let's just slot a roundabout in here too to try and give these guys a little bit more flow. And then with these guys, what we'll do is they will connect like just a little bit further off them. So the guys that are going to be hopefully more efficient will have the sort of the preference sort of route. Now, does this work? Probably not, but no harm in trying, right? Now, this guy here, even when, I mean, I think that they're slower just because of the what's just happened, but there's nothing that should be stopping these guys coming in. You can see they slow down there, possibly just for that, yeah, intersection. There we go. So the intersection's gone, they'll move a bit better. This guy here is going to just be bad while he's busy because he's going to have these cars coming in both directions, but you can see he is cleaning up too. He is, for the most part, cleaned up as well, which is good news. And we can leave these guys here as the further away one. We can just have that in place just in case. It looks like is yellow starting to push a little bit more now? What do we got? Who's gone? Red again. Okay. Let's try and find an extra source of cars for this red neighborhood, because they're definitely not happy with the amount they've got. I think he's just gained a house there. But you're now using these guys. These guys have secondary duties. We've got these two guys down here. We could run them straight up the river and connect them in there. Let's see how that flows when they get here. Okay, so blue's now our current complainer. White's similar too. Okay, do we have a white set of guys that we can just get a quick helping hand from? Might go with these three guys. We've got extra bridges, so let's make them a set of 4. Let's take Highway 12 and we will drop that there. Okay, these guys are also struggling. Red's also struggling. Sort of everyone suddenly decided that it's the collapse of civilization. Alright, so who needs the most attention? This guy? Can we get him on there? Or are we just gonna get... Yeah, alright, that's... I mean, he's connected. This red, he's slowing down again just with these guys moving in. This white here is struggling. I mean, there's not too much he can do, really. We just suddenly surge white guys coming from somewhere else. I mean, we already just used some of them. This lone guy is the closest other one. We can just sort of slot him in the back there to have some white guys get from the other side, but just too late. 2,900, not too bad. Let's have a look at how we did on the stats there. 156, top 15%, that's okay. Too bad. There we go. Any questions or comments, feel free to chuck them below. Until next time, catch you later. See ya.